Yeah, captaincy. I think the next biggest discussion for the day. Who are you guys looking for? Like, just some stats before we in fact start discussion. The top this list is predicted points for players for game week 37 only. So Salah is top. Haaland, Saka, KDB, Watkins, Palmer, Vissa, Ambomo, and Cunha. On the top right, I've put in last 5 game weeks teams with the best expected goals: Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City, and Aston Villa. And I think we've discussed like these are teams to target as well to own. And then on the bottom right, you can see the worst 5 teams when it comes to expected goals conceded. So Leicester, Ipswich, Spurs, Southampton, not like nothing crazy here. We've already discussed this, and based on this data plus your insights as well, let's get into our top three captaincy picks. Essen, you go first.
Yeah, I think uh, Watkins would definitely be a captaincy shout. The only disadvantage is he has the early kickoff, so you know the FPL rule. So I think a bit of hesitation there. But apart from him, Mbomo is a very good captaincy shout. Brentford are, we've seen how they play at home. Very fluid, very open football. They do concede, but at the same time, they just try to outscore their opponents. Then Bomo is a very good shout. Palmer, as Puneet pointed out, even though he's like still in the 30s in terms of percentage of his ownership, at Man United home can be a very solid game for him with Nicholas Jackson out, so he primarily becomes the focal point again. So he can be a very good shout. So yeah, the fact that I have him Bomo, I'm leaning towards him. If I do take out Mateta for Watkins, I don't think I would be captaining him, but third best would be I think Salah. Uh, I don't know if it's a mental thing or what, but I've seen that he's trying to be more of an assist provider. He's trying to chase that record. He's not really trying to get into those goal scoring positions. So as an FPL captain, especially with this price tag, not really feeling it right now. And Saka, I think all of us don't have Saka. We took him out earlier. I think I did at least Saka to KDB. So yeah, I think Mbomo is a very good captaincy shout.
Cool. Puneet?
mean, this is a tough week, I believe, to captain. But then that means you have a very good chance of differential. That's what I think you and I were discussing also previous, just before we started this. So Boomo definitely, Boomo is the man in form, and I think he gave one assist, but he has been pretty decent. Palmer is someone because they are playing United. Leicester are playing Ipswich, so Vardy becomes an option. Tough game for City. Otherwise, Haaland I mean, tough meaning I feel it's a high scoring game. I don't think it's going to be like a nil-nil or a very cagey game. Bournemouth will also come for goals, and that's my point. I think
That's the
that's
good
why they
thing, right?
become
For from a captaincy point of view, the
exactly.
Bournemouth need 3 points to qualify for Europe, which means it should be an open game, unlike the Southampton game in which Southampton was all
City.
defensive. So might be an open game for City and Bournemouth both, to be honest.
That's so that now with that analysis, I feel I would first go KDB home game. So like top three for me would be KDB, Boomo, and Palmer. These three would be my top three.
Fair enough. One more point on Mbumo. They're also playing Fulham at home, and again, Fulham, I think, also it's a must have 3 points for them to qualify for Conference League, if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah. They are in the. I think they are a point or two away from it. Yeah,
wrong.
they're
Yeah.
in the reckoning.
So Boom again becomes a good shot. For me, I think Salah plays Brighton away, right?
Yep.
Salah plays Brighton away, and generally all Brighton games are so open and high scoring. So although Salah is the template pick, right now he's top of my list. Regardless, like if irrespective of if you're chasing mini league or like you can go for a specific captain compared to a mini league rival, but generally speaking, I think my approach generally is go for the player you think will score the most points, and I think Salah might score the most points. This week, although his form is bad. So I think he's one for me. And then because I have Haaland, I would say Haaland number two. But if you can get to Watkins, I think this is the game to go for Watkins. Watkins against Tottenham, team B, and you can see on this graphic bottom right, Tottenham are third worst when it comes to expected goals conceded in the last 5 weeks. So I think Watkins becomes a top shot for me. That's about it. Moving on. Oh, we had some graphics for the captaincy as well. So yeah, Rogers and Watkins, I'll quickly go over them. Focal point of attack, both in good form, both have had recent returns and facing a poor Tottenham side. Salah hasn't been in great form, but and hence people won't captain him as much. Hence he might just become a differential captain choice, and he's stealing some personal records. KDB last home game for City, so there is a romantic element of picking him as a captain. And then Bournemouth need 3 point, hence the game would be open. Same goes for Haaland. Uh, I think both of them would be nailed for the next week, in my opinion. Yeah, I think we've covered all of them. One thing we didn't cover
Yeah.
is Isak. So with Isak, let me go back. Newcastle top two when it comes to expected goals in the last 5 weeks, and Isak has been in a bad run of form, but again, Newcastle want the top four spot, and I mean he is their focal point of attack right at the end, so
Yeah.
he could be a good shout, to be very honest. And then Vardy, we already discussed. He has one goal,
Yeah.
one assist in the last 2 weeks. And then Ipswich at home, last home game of the career. Anything else on captaincy before we move on?
I think we are fairly covered. This goes down to how you want to tackle your game week compared to your risk appetite.
Yeah,
Just one
compared to,
point, that
yeah.
this is something that is going to matter more than any differential player this week, or in fact, even in the last
Oh,
two
yeah,
games. Choosing your captain is more important than playing your differential because the captain itself is going to be very spread.
true, very true. Last week we had an idea that Mbuma would be more than 100% and etc. Isak, KDB. This week I think it's very, very open.